So hopefully the TV's not too loud because I don't think I can ever get the remote. Now, for those of you who might be waiting on tuning for the Ecodiesel, I'm going to kind of show you a little bit with what I'm working with here, and this is why some of the new stuff takes a little bit longer than expected. So hopefully my computer screen isn't blurry, but I mean, because technically I guess I could do the video recording through my laptop, but I figured a live video would be a little bit nicer. For those of you who follow my channel or whatever. So we have here is we have the customer's file, which is a different operating system than my file. So notice the address up here, that 2A69A, what is it, 8? Okay, notice the address over here, which is a comparison file to my tune, 2A6A4. Okay, now if you don't know anything about binary or coding or anything like that, this stuff's going to be a little bit confusing, but it's very simple. Here's the addresses on this one, here's the addresses on this one. We have here, these red and blues are changes. Red means that this number is higher, blue means that this number is lower. And then we have potential maps here, here, and here. Now these potential maps aren't always maps, so a guy has to know the code that he's working with for him to create this map and make sure that the map is real. So once we do that, let's see here. Let's create a map over here. Okay, so this is a map. Now, the addresses, like I showed you, don't line up between my base tuning that I do on my pickup truck and the tuning for the customer's vehicle. So when I don't have a file that works for the customer's vehicle, I have to go through and recreate all the maps from mine in the correct locations for the customer's operating system, and then move all the data over. Now, the data, when you look at it, doesn't always make sense. You can see here on the top, it's 500 through 7,000, and at the bottom, it's 1,100 through 7,600. Now, what we'll end up doing after this is I'll go into HP tuners and I'll try to line up some of the maps in order to get proper definitions of them. Now, the thing is a lot of this data is going to have to change. So a lot of it is going to be just a matter of going into the properties here and setting an equation. So let's just change the numbers in there once. Let's say that it's a different type of number. Okay, so what this equation did was change the numbers like that, okay? All the equations have a standard number of 1, meaning the numbers stay in raw format, which is how they're pulled from the computer. So you have to know what each one is in order to put the mathematic equation in order to fix it so that you can view the map just like you would in HP tuners or different software. So on my engine tuning, when I originally developed the maps for my engine, I think I spent somewhere between 50 and 60 hours moving the maps like this from this file to this file. But the thing is you don't just move the map, you have to actually go in and find the start places of each map, and then you have to make sure that the data matches so that you know you're moving even the correct map over. So it's very time consuming. So please don't think that, I'm out here just, screwing off or whatever, and not doing people's tuning for them, because we definitely are. I mean, you can see here at how many maps that I've created in the last few hours. I mean, this literally, so, I mean, that's got to be 100 right there. And look at the bottom, potentials, 885. Now, potentials are maps that this software found on its own, but you still have to confirm that they're even real maps so that the data even matches what you're doing. So this is what I do anytime I get a file that doesn't line up properly. And it can take a very long time, and obviously I don't try to make it take a long time. I try to put an entire day in working on this stuff in order to get it right for the customer. Once I get it fully developed, from there it's not really a big deal, because once I know what each map does, it's just like going into HP tuners and making changes. So if you're waiting on an engine tune or a transmission tune for an Ecodiesel and it's been a while since you've heard from me, you can message me to remind me, just in case that your order's been overlooked at all. Otherwise, I ask that to just please be a little bit patient, because I am working definitely diligently on this to make sure that everyone gets their stuff taken care of. I'm short on computers because people haven't been sending them back to me appropriately. So what I'm going to do tomorrow is I'm actually driving to Dallas to get 3 computers so I can catch up with customers. And I'll make videos for how to tune this stuff later for those of you that want to learn. But if you look at these numbers don't make any sense. The only thing that's going to make sense to you guys here is you see 16, 16, and then up here you see a 16 and a 16. That's one of the easiest ways to find a map, is find 2 consecutive numbers or 2 digits like that. But like I said, I'll go into it a little bit later and try to explain this for people who want to learn. I know I have a lot of customers that have this type of software that would love to learn. So I'll get into that more later. I'm going to get off YouTube here and keep going, trying to get these transmission files out to guys and gals. So have a good night, everyone.